Yo, what's going on guys, NeoCod here today, and we are back with another tutorial map. Tutorial map, I don't know what you'd call it. Either way, we're on SCORCH HARDPOINT, and I do not know why I'm running over here. I'm trying to describe to you what to do on this map and how you guys yourself can win this map, or just tips that I kind of use and the way I like to play this map along with my team. Now, a good thing to remember with this series, guys, is, you know, you might know other things. I'm only teaching you what I know. I mean, there might be other things that, of course, I'm going to pick on throughout the game and pick up. But the thing is that, you know, you probably will learn something new, so I would highly recommend, you know, just watching this video, seeing if you learn, even if you only take away one thing from this video, you know, it's pretty decent, like, all the little tiny things help, and if you manage to remember them all, then it really does help you in the long run. Either way, so we're starting off on, what is this team? UNSA, so this is the UNSA side, I don't even know which side starts where, and as, now, with this side, you gotta remember, you've always gotta focus on next hill, so first of all, you know that next hill is back that way, so straight away, you don't really want this side. I mean, you can have it, you know, for half the hill, because the first hill is actually mid, so you kind of want to have the other side spawn, so yes, you also want to balance spawn and for next and also the hill at the same time. Like, it's not always best to push straight through, so it's always best to try and get the other side for spawn. However, when you're in hill, you know, you want to start off with a lead. You do not want to start off being negative. If you guys all went for the four-man flank straight away, you straight away are losing like about 20 to 30 seconds in hill, which you never want to do. You always want to have as much hill time as you can. So, if you're on the side, I recommend pushing 1 or 2 players down the side, or 1 or 2 players down this side. If you push 1 and 1 down each side, you can always have a 2-man flank. You know, you can have these first 2 people just to get in contest, because, you know, a lot of people often like to contest in this hill, and it's actually really easy to do. You've got all these barrels, which I recommend, you know, utilising, because there's so many different head glitches that you can go on for this hill, and it's all about the contest time, because you always want someone in this hill, as long as no one's getting points other than, like, unless it's you. That's basically what you want. You want either you getting the points or no one getting the points. So a lot of players from the other side love to flank this warren, so what I do as an anchor, I always come up to this warren, you know, and I'll watch this, see if anyone pushes it. I've seen a few people recently come through the corridor as well, but that doesn't really happen that often. And you gotta remember that people that are flanking around are often flanking around for bad spawns for next, so it doesn't really matter. I often just let them, you know, I might catch the first 2 people, 1 or 2 people pushing that way, but after that I jump straight towards the hill, you know, and just basically work around my team. There isn't really much to say of this hill, other than to keep in mind that there's lots of head glitches everywhere that can be used to your advantage. You got top, you got 2 either side. A lot of people like to jump up, you know, and just like almost head glitch this kind of thing. You know, people jump up and spread hill. A lot of people also love to war on high and, you know, get height advantage into this hill. If you got propulsion, it's very good indeed, because you can easily war on off this and be really high, you know, and try and take out everyone on the hill. If you're on this side, you will almost always have people, you know, on this head glitch. That's why what I tend to do is I tend to go top crane, I play my life, even put down a trophy here, because lots of people love to nade over this hill. I'll often pre-aim the left warren and see if anyone jumps there, but a lot of people now seem to just fly out of this hill and straight into the contest, because that's what you always want to be doing. You always want to be getting into that contest, no matter whether you're the lone person in the hill or whatever you are. Either way, when the time's getting, you know, starting to run short and it's starting to come to next, you always... One thing with this next hill is never push this side. Yes, you can break it if you have 4-man, but even if you have the 4-man, I would always suggest with going through this building right here, if you push from this warren, it's so easy for someone to head glitch this crate and take you off. Even if you do manage to take the guard, the crate, there's often people there can be people there, here, there can be people inside, which always will pretty much be people inside, and that's because the inside, in my opinion, is the best place to keep. So say 4 people spawn here, you know, and they've got hill control. I would often suggest maybe flooding 2 through that door, 2 through this door, and trying to take over this building. This building is so important for this hill, in my opinion. Like, if you can push through here, you've got a door there and a door here where it's really hard to get you off, and through here, normally where they would sit on this box and watch the head glitch, you can actually get towards the hill without them even seeing you, even if they're on the box, so you can jump straight into this hill, you can contest, you know, and you can slowly try and take your way over the control of that box, because that box is like a very dominant anchor point for this hill. You know, you always pretty much have players playing around this box and being able to shoot you off things. Whenever you've got the hill, I would recommend keeping maybe 2 or 3 people inside the hill, and you always want at least one person here. This is such a big room because you've got 2 different flank points. You can even, like, often people are trying to push into this room as well, so you can take them off through this corridor and this corridor. Then, when it gets, to a short time, you gotta always keep an eye on time. If you have hill control of that last hill, it is so easy to rotate. You can just push straight down this corridor or the wall and straight to the back. Now, one mistake that people often make is when they're rotating from that hill to this hill, they will often just stop here, in the hill and try and, set up in the hill. But that's the biggest mistake ever, because the people that are spawning out are going to be spawning out towards drill, and they're all going to know, you know what guys, we don't have hill control right now, we don't have rotation, let's all push the back. Because the back is so important on this hill. Again, you always want to have at least one person watching the back in one way or the other. Whether it's someone lying down here, which I heavily recommend, you could be sitting in this corner here, another nice corner to watch the back, or even just sitting back in this building here. A lot of people do this and it can be very effective, but what I prefer to do is keep 2 people in the hill, 1 person out this back so they can watch you under Warren, and then 1 person right at the back so you can keep spawns. That is a very good setup in my opinion. But when you are rotating from the old hill to this hill, never just stop at the hill. Always push through the back, whether you go through this door or you go through the back corridor. You always want to clear them out the back, especially if the other guys are spawning out, because you're going to have about 4 people spawning here, or they're going to be spawning old, having scrap time, and they're going to be rushing up through mid. I mean, they could literally come from anywhere. They can come through mid, here, or they could go all the way around and try and get spawns. You always want to keep back spawns when you're rotating, so I'd heavily recommend putting someone back here on these spawns. Okay, so moving on to this hill now, which is the last hill, I believe, before the map rotates back towards the beginning, is Drill Hill. Now this hill, there isn't really too much to say. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You've got 2 sides, which are very similar indeed. I mean, cave side, I'd say, is probably the hardest side to get people out of, but either way can be really difficult to get people out of. It just depends how you play and how your team holds down the hill. If you are having this side of spawns, then I recommend always having at least 1 person observation, because you're gonna have I mean, look how much coverage you've got here. You pretty much got both sides. You'll always have to people around this pillar here. People will always be playing this pillar no matter what side, whether they're lying behind it, head glitch in the box. I've seen quite a few people as well with propulsion. They often war on it like this, and they will just jump out you from really high up, and you do not expect it whatsoever. You've got 2 very dominant head glitches here, which a lot of people always seem to go on, which are right here and here, and these head glitches are very important indeed. You may even want to pull out an MV4 from this hill and just sit back on this head glitch. Now, one thing that I would say about this head glitch, I know I said how important this one is, but I would also recommend trying to just, instead of sitting here on this hill head glitch, yes, it is nice, people can, you can get people quite easily, but a lot of people go there because, they are the main head glitches, so I'd always recommend sliding around to this head glitch. This head glitch is way better in my opinion. I mean, you've got both sides here, but you're kind of sheltered from the observation side if you go towards this part of the box, which means that you can focus on which enemies you want to take on at a time. You can even slide forwards towards the pillar a little bit and look towards observation, which can be very handy indeed. Observation itself, like I said, is a very big key point for this hill. You also have the left side as well, which there's lots of different places where you can go in here. Now, a lot of people love to flank around on this hill, so I wouldn't say waste your time with watching the flank, but I'd say get ready for the flank, expect it coming. So if you hear that, if your teammate calls out there's one behind or something like that, then I would always recommend, being ready to just try and turn around and snap on the guy. I know that's not the best idea ever, but if you know there's a guy flanking, for example, on caves, you can always, you're pretty much always going to have someone in this room looking at the left side observation. This guy can easily just turn around, and get the cross here. I mean, yeah, they could sneak past, but it's very unlikely that that's going to happen. Also with this left side, depending on which side you're looking at, of course, this right side, I suppose, from this way, is very, very powerful indeed, because you've got so many high warrants that you can just completely destroy the enemy with. They will not be expecting you, or they will probably now in the game, but it's very it's not as expected as just sitting here on this head glitch. You can jump straight around this corner, and it is very, very handy indeed. Now, of course, next just goes right back around to mid, and I've already explained that hill before. So that's pretty much going to conclude this video, guys. I hope that you learned something new. and I shall continue to upload these once in a while. I'm going to go through every map, every game mode, so be sure to check them out. I'm going to make them into a little playlist so you guys can just, you know, go through them whenever in your own time. So thank you guys for watching this video. I really do hope it helped you, and I shall see you guys in my next video. Peace.